so make sure you tip them. With that out of the way, let's bring up your next comic. You ready for your next comic? Yep, right down front, to the point, let's go. Your next comedian coming to the stage has 4 dry bar comedy specials. I need you to make some noise for Rodney Norman!
Hey. Yeah, forgive me, I'm a little shook up, a little disheveled. Kind of a harrowing experience just getting here tonight. In fact, we were almost in a car accident. Would have been a pretty serious car accident too, but fortunately, at the last second, I managed to change my mind. So hey, fellas, you ever use your urine stream to clean the toilet? I only bring that up because I was in a hotel room this last week that was so nasty, I had to do that to the sheets. Thank you. No, I'm pretty excited about life right now because me and my lovely bride, we're about to celebrate 19 years of amazing marriage to each other. So thank you. Very excited. It's going to be our 33rd wedding anniversary. Very excited. But don't get me wrong. She's loved my life. In fact, she's the only woman that I've ever, and I'm the only man that she's ever. But it was a wedding night. It was the first time for both of us. And it was pretty amazing that we found each other because she was looking for a man that kept himself clean and pure. Technically. Okay, let's just say until our wedding night, I never scored any touchdowns. Had a couple safeties and a field goal, but never crossed the plane. So she was looking for, and then of course I was looking for a woman that had nothing to compare me to. Because I'll spare the details. Let's just say back in junior high school, during gym class, during the locker rooms, during the showers, I paid attention, figured out pretty quickly where I ranked. I thought, I think Mom's right about this. Waiting to marriage is probably my best option. But we're going good, going strong. In fact, we're still at, we still got, 30. It's not uncommon for me to wake her up, make mad, passionate love to her in the middle of the night several times during the week for one reason only: get her to stop snoring. It's very effective. But the thing is, your relationship now, it does change a little ways, because like when you're a younger man and she's ready to go, you're ready to go. When she's not ready to go, you're still ready to go. You don't even have to think about it. It's kind of on a hair trigger. It's like, oh, hey, look, there's a nipple. That's consent. Here we go. You know what I mean? But after 33 years, it's like, yeah, it's the same nipple. So you just, after all those years of false alerts, your body's like, look, we're not getting dressed up for nothing. So it's because, like you said, it's younger, it's physical, it's all physical. But as you get older, it's more of an emotional and intellectual exercise, if you will. You have to start creating these little scenarios. It's like, oh, I went skiing for the first time, broke my leg, and now I'm in the ICU, and the hot nurse is going to give me a sponge bath. Then what happens is that then your storylines get more involved, pretty soon you start having plot structure and then character development. And next thing you know, you're going on a hero's journey because you're at home and everything is safe and fine, and then you have an inciting incident around page 10, and then then you got to go on a journey, but you don't want to go on the journey, but you know that you are the only one that can go on the adventure and journey. So you put together a ragtag band of misfits come along with you on your adventure, and you go out, and then you come across your first antagonist, and it's a very trying time, and you're not sure if you're going to succeed or not, but then you overcome the antagonist, and in fact the antagonist actually turns out to be a supportive character and joins you because it teaches you something important about yourself that helps you go on to the bigger journey. And then you go, but then you finally get to your destination and realize your group cannot go with you because you can only go over the mountains and into the valley and into the cave to defeat the dragon by yourself. And so you go because it's man versus beast, but then there's also elements of nature, so man versus nature. You finally conquer the dragon, you're victorious, but then it's time to return home, but because of the man versus himself struggle, you realize you can never really go home because home doesn't exist because you're a different man because of overcoming this trial. So anyway, so she was on top of me. And it wasn't happening for me. I was pulling out everything. I was trying to get into character and everything. And it was a little embarrassing. And so while she's on top of me, I started envisioning something that I'd never thought of before. And that was, we were having a menage a trois. So it was me, and it was her, and then it was another version of her from alternative reality. Because even in my fantasies, I want to remain faithful. I mean, it's a younger, blonder version of her, but it was, if they have the same name, it's easier to keep track. Is what I'm saying. So there I was. It was me, her, and her other her, and I'm here to tell you, fellas, that worked. Mostly because it accounted for the weight. Well, I just told you about my undying and devoted love for my one and only true woman. You ruined it with your impossible beauty standards. I see how you are, ladies. Shame on you. I mean, look, okay, so she put on a little bit. She got 5 kids. She's going to put on something. She's a little bit bigger. Look, I got a little belly myself. It's true that when we're in the throes of passion, one of us has to wear a t-shirt or we make farting noises. That just scares and confuses the dogs. But anyway, I'm on a one-man journey to make this world a better place, and I had this experience I'd love to share with everybody because I think it helped bring unity to your soul. Thank you. Okay, so I went to visit some friends of mine. They're in California. If you're not familiar with California, it's the one. It's like that. I started doing that with all the states because I went and hung out in Michigan, and they got the coolest thing because they're like, "Where are you from?" Michigan. I'm over here. And so I started, California, they're right here. It's like I got a friend, he's in Florida, and I was like, "Hey, it works for Florida too. Look, here, you're in Pensacola, right here." Okay, okay, so my friends are Tongan. They're Polynesian Tongan. I only mentioned they're Polynesian Tongan because there's also an East African tribe that also is Tongan. They name it Tongan, but there's no relation, and I didn't want there to be any confusion here in Cleveland. Okay, so they're good friends of mine. I stay with them all the time when I go to Southern California, right? And I want to do shows and stuff. And because people they put me in fancy hotels, and I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't put me in a fancy hotel. Why would I want to stay in a fancy hotel when I got to stay at my friend's house and sleep on their couch? Never gets laughed, but I'm holding out. Okay, so anyway, I'm there, and they had this Saturday morning thing. They all got together, and they were going to this this street festival thing at the community, and they invited me to go. And so I was like, "Oh, that sounds like fun." So we go there. And there was a bunch of Tongans, their friends. I knew a lot of them, so it was like a little reunion. So it was pretty cool. Got to see them again. And then there was some Samoans, also Polynesian. They don't have an East African equivalent. They're the only Samoans. I mean, they had a copyright dispute with the Girl Scouts a few years ago, but they're the only actual Samoans. You know what I mean? So anyway, this is pretty cool. There's music going, and there's all these booths and crafts and food and everything going on, and people are enjoying the music. They're dancing. Well, this is pretty cool, man. So I started going around just checking it all out and checking all the booths and meeting people. And I started meeting people from all over the world. I met people from China, from Japan, Jakarta, the Philippines, Indonesia, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Egypt, all over Africa, South America, Peru, Belize, Colombia, and and there were Mexicans. There was a lot of Mexicans. Okay, it was mostly Mexicans. Okay, but here's my point. Nobody cared. Nobody cared where anybody's from. Nobody cared about your nationality. You cared about the color of your skin. Nobody cared where you're from. You cared about your political or your religious affiliations. No one was trying to get anyone to join their essential oils downline or anything. It was just pure joy. And we were just having a great time. And I was like, this is awesome, man. This is the coolest thing ever. Because here's all these people from all over the world coming here to this beautiful country, taking advantage of all the opportunities. And I was just like, this is what America's all about, big melting pot. I was like, we're here celebrating, not how we're different, but how we're the same, about we're all one human race, and that's what it is. We're all the same. It was amazing, and it was a proud and exciting moment. And it was also when I realized that I was the only white guy there. I think a lot of you know where I'm coming from on this. Just that sudden, humbling realization that, well, I guess I'm in charge. You didn't see that one coming. The greatest thing about that joke is two groups of people are offended by that joke. First group, white supremacists that didn't know they were white supremacists. And the other group are people who couldn't figure out the joke was making fun of white supremacists. So what I'm saying is you didn't think that was funny. You're the problem. Okay, I'm done now.
One more time for Rodney Norman, everybody.